sunshine today. We'll top out at 62. For Sunday, partly cloudy early, becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon, low 40, high 63. Partly cloudy, breezy, and cool on Monday, low 40, high 56.
61 degrees right now at 95.5 WSB.
Ladies and gentlemen, 107 on a Saturday afternoon. That means one thing. Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. We're going to cover three big stories or three big topics today. We're going to talk about fraud. We're going to talk about fraud that's going on. We're going to talk about holiday conversations and expectations for 2026.
Hello and happy Festivus to the rest of us. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, however you celebrate. We are so excited to be here with you this holiday week.
So let's start with the holidays.
Yes.
The holidays coming up. We've got the live remote next Saturday from Butler Lexus. You're going to be there doing this show.
I'm going to hang out at the car dealership and talk to people live. If you want to meet me and Kevin, we will be live streaming from his location at his dealership.
Yep, live broadcast. So what you wanted to talk about holidays and what's going on now and how that relates.
The reason is because the holidays, when people are getting together with their families, it is the ideal time to talk about your future together. So in real estate, what that looks like, this is a real estate centric show. And to help people I'm not saying you have to buy or sell a house next year. But when you're with your family, it is a great time to do a review of your circumstances because life stages change. And when you're with your family, I mean, there's lots of conversations that can go any which way. But if we're talking about real estate is the vehicle for people to grow their net worth. Young people have affordability issues. Getting into a home is not people who did everything right. They go to school, they go to college, they get a good job, and lo and behold, they can't afford to buy a house. What's up with that? That is different than it was a generation ago. So circumstances have changed. If you're talking about that with your family gathered together over the holiday season, there are things you can do that we are seeing work for people to help with affordability issues. I want to talk about that, how you can help position younger people in the family. Shelley, the average age of a first-time buyer nationally now is over 40 years old. Wow. That's crazy. In the last decade that it's gone so much, it's because affordability is a problem. And we have an opportunity to help people find a way around that. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. In fact, I'll tell you it's hard, but hard doesn't mean it's impossible. And we can help people achieve homeownership goals. And what that will do for them is if you wait until you're after 40 before you buy your home, you are delaying the growth of your net worth. And there are influencers on social media right now that are advising people don't buy a home, rent forever. And really, I think that's a mistake. Right. It's my personal opinion and the opinion of other well-respected people in the real estate industry. I know that could be heard as, oh, she just sells houses for a living. She just wants to sell more houses. But there is a lot of data to support that people who rent and never own a home never have the opportunity to grow their net worth. Right. And if
that's your number one asset. Correct?
It is for most people.
Most people, yes.
And because that's your easiest way to grow your net worth, over the course of your lifetime, you have the opportunity to impact generationally your kids and grandkids. Now, you're going to be with your grandparents, your parents, everybody. There is an opportunity for people who have equity in their homes. They have solid retirement accounts. One option is to help the younger generation with down payment. You can help them. I'm not saying co-sign for a loan. That you don't want to be held to that. Like don't necessarily do that. If you want to do that, that's great.
Let me ask you this question, because something just occurred to me. Is it better to co-sign on a loan or just give the money to your grandchildren to buy a house? Not all of it, but a down payment.
So it's a great question because it depends on your circumstances.
Gotcha.
When you co-sign on a loan with somebody, that means your credit, your debt to income ratio, you are an applicant on the mortgage. what's going to happen is if you in turn then want to go buy something else, your credit is tied to that person. If that co-borrower fails to make the payment and that's your agreement that you had in place, you're on the hook for it. Versus helping a younger person with down payment. If they can accept a gift of X dollars, a good amount of a down payment, getting them their down payment so they can put 3 or 5% down on a home, that cash gift can go all the way. That is the game changer of a difference for people who want to buy a home. Now, of course, you have to have a good relationship because that money could be working for you. But if you know your retirement is ready and in place, and borrowing against it or pulling equity out of your home to help your, however you need to do it, if you can afford to make that difference, that could be the game changer to getting somebody who's maybe under the age of 40 into a home, because house prices are going to continue to go up, not as rapidly as they used to, but even if they increase 3 to 5% in a 12-month period for the next couple of years, it's not going to get cheaper.
Right.
So getting in a home now, nobody ever said, I wish I had waited, when other than 2008, we're looking at a history over where housing prices are going to continue to increase.
Right.
So that being said, now
even after 2008, that went down, but
it came back up. Yeah, it just took a little bit longer.
Right.
So waiting to buy a home, it just has proven, the data shows it doesn't help somebody long term. Now, the other flip side of this, when you're with your grandparents, your parents, it is time to have those conversations. I'm not saying everybody should go sell their house,
right? But
I'm saying when you're together with your family, it's time to consider factors like, is grandma really able to maintain this house? Right. Is the expense and the work it takes to remain in this big house with stairs or basement or yard work, the things, it's time to start doing that. And I'm encouraging everybody to do it in love and with consideration for where they are. Nobody wants to be shoved out of their home by their family because they're too old. Like, be nice to each, but
especially at Christmas time.
Right. Grandma, come on, it's time to go. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think having kind and considerate conversations about this during the holidays, hey, Mom, the house looks great, lead into a conversation about what are your plans. Because when I work with families who haven't had those conversations previously, it's harder. It is harder. And moving after you've been in a home for many, many years, it's not easy. There is a hardship involved on the people, just the packing up, the decluttering, doubts, making decisions is emotional. And that's what we do every day when we meet and have consultations with families. Wherever they are, we have to take into consideration their stage of life, their capability, their financial situation, and how much help they have around them. These are the conversations that are easy to have during the holiday period. And that's why I wanted to bring it up so everybody who's listening knows how. Now, if you know your family needs to make a move in the next year, you can't start soon enough preparing. 6, 8, 12 months ahead of time is not too soon to be having that consult. It's a guided conversation about how do you prepare and what does that look like. If you're selling, download the free home report card. That is a good tool that I put online to help people just evaluate. There's no obligation to that. There's no obligation to have a conversation. It is what it is, but there are certain things that need to happen before you sell. And if you're buying, the same thing, getting prepared ahead of time. 6 to 12 months in advance of making a purchase is not too soon to have that conversation to make sure you're prepared.
What does preparing look like? So you have the conversation with family. What else does preparing? You download the report card, but what is preparing? What does that look like for the listeners?
For a buyer, that means looking at your financial situation and then evaluating the area you want to live and evaluating your lifestyle choices. What matters to you? How is your job? What is your income going to look like in the next several years? And what stage of life are you at? Are you single? Are you newly married? Have you been married a while and you need a bigger space? What do you need for your kids? How close are you to your parents? You know, our parents are aging. And if you need to be close to your parents, making a move, leave your parents in their home and move closer to them so you can be a resource. These are the types of conversations that I have with people all the time, that, and every good agent in Atlanta, these are normal conversations for us to have. But people often think, oh, realtors just, you know, sell houses, open doors, go to parties, post on Instagram. That's not what we do. We have real impactful conversations with people. And that's why you hire us.
404-872-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK. The name of the show is Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. She's with the Agency Atlanta. She is the expert on all things Georgia real estate. So please give her a call, get your questions ready, and give her a call at 404-872-0750 or 1-800-WSB-TALK. We will be right back with Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. So now we'll do the finish up. What does preparing look like?
Because preparing, I can do that. I want to talk about people.
Buyer.
I want to talk about locking down your credit so
Right,
that
okay,
it
so
can
finish
prevent
that.
fraud. It's all part of preparing.
Right. So look at the preparing. Finish up the preparing. This is the short segment, and then at the long segment coming up, we'll go to fraud.
Right.
Talk about the fraud that you had experienced this week.
Right. Well, it all ties together. It rolls from one to the other. Part of, if you're going to buy a house next year, you got to make sure your credit's in order.
Right.
And fraud has come up, and that
Right.
becomes problematic.
Gotcha.
if you've been hurt by fraud. They're just getting very bold. The fraud is like crazy.
Right. Right. So we'll do fraud. We'll finish up preparing at the 136. We'll do fraud, and then the last thing is expectations for 2026.
Yeah.
That's the last thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Was that comprehensive enough for?
Yeah, hell
Like,
yeah,
for,
hell
like,
yeah,
talk-
hell yeah.
yeah.
That was very good. It was very good. And then that led us right to what does preparing look like?
Right.
You know, what does it mean to prepare to buy a house 6 to 12 months in advance?
Yeah.
Because when I hear that, I'm like, well, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
Right. Because you don't wake up and think, I'm going to buy a house today.
Okay, well, yeah, you
Well, some people might.
right. No, you don't. But for most of us, it's something we always want to do, particularly the first time people.
Right.
There's some, I always wanted to own a home. And so, but what you're saying now is you got to prepare. It's not something you just say, oh, I want to buy a pair of Nikes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to switch from Nike, or I'm going to switch from Lexus to Mercedes. You
Right.
know, it's not. You have to prepare.
Smart people, and maybe I need to say this, smart people don't just make random decisions
Right.
when it is as impactful as homeownership.
Right. And
So-
also talk about sellers too.
Yes.
There's a preparing for sellers too.
Right. Oh. I'm excited about going to Kevin's live
Oh,
event. Have you
it's-
done live events before?
It's very fun. But remember, you're doing your show there, so it's Kevin's, but it's both shows.
Oh yeah.
We're there from 12 to 2. Okay.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
real estate.
Yeah.
What I love about
and I would
this
get there
show
earlier.
Yeah.
I would get there like 11:30ish.
for his whole show.
Right. No,
Yeah.
not only that, for you can meet people at the
Oh, yeah.
dealership. Those people getting ready to drop $40, $50, $60,000 on a car.
Yeah.
They're good. You know what I mean? Be good to just network with those people.
Yeah. Well, and I think it would be fun for me to hear their comments and what are they interested in.
Right.
Because I get bored
You know
with
what would be cool for us to do when people are coming is to I'll have promotions guy do it to find out if people have questions that are there, because Kevin's going to set up chairs where people can watch if they want to, and find out if they have questions there and bring them on the air and ask the question. You know,
Yeah.
like, hey, Joe is sitting here. Came down for the live broadcast. Joe, what's your real estate question? And he can,
Right.
you know what I mean, ask you, and you can answer.
cool.
You know, well, we will do what we do here.
Right.
We'll get the question written down so we know what it is first.
Yeah.
But I'll ask promotions to do that. That'll kind of give a little fun element to it.
Yeah, well, and I'll be curious because, like, in preparing for this, like, the questions that people have, like, I want to answer their questions, but as I'm preparing, I'm like, this is what I think we should talk about.
Of
But what do
course.
they want to talk about?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. That's good. We're going to do the same show prep for the show. It's just, so what it is imagine, did you ever come? No. Imagine you're sitting here, we're doing a show here, and there's people walking around outside, people sitting there watching. That's all it is. That's all it is. So it's the same show you're going to produce.
Awesome.
Yeah. Except that people can take selfies with you. There are going to be people that say, "Oh, I've always been interested in meeting
Got
you."
it. Got it. I hear it. I wear lipstick.
No, I wasn't saying that. But
Go on. You got to, like, hold my hand every
is the
step
dog
of the
still
way.
out there?
Where did the dog go? Shit, we already lost the dog.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Do you want to come sit up here? Oh, your bed fell apart.
To thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more
She
thing.
left you, like, right in the
Merry
middle.
Christmas.
Come on.
I'm coming.
We're back inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton of the Agency Atlanta. So Deborah, when we went to break, you said, I asked you, what does preparing look like? And you started talking about if you're looking to buy a home. You want to finish that?
Well, the main thing with where we see a lack of preparation hurt buyers is that they haven't taken the time to assess their finances. And I'm not talking about necessarily making your credit application, but let's say it's December, it's the holidays. You know that sometime next year you are interested in buying a home. It is a good time right now. Lock your credit down. Don't allow we're going to talk to fraud and then just close it so that you don't have inquiries going in. You want to not be making inquiries to your credit. You want to make sure that your spending is in check, your debt is reducing. You want to have 6 months of really good on-time payments, credit, all of those things for everybody. But when we talk about the fraud that I'm seeing in real estate right now, one thing that buyers can do now, and it really should be for everybody, is just close all the loopholes, because your public information, I think AI might be a little bit out of control right now. What we're seeing is information being scraped, and there's a lot more fraud happening. We're all aware wire fraud is real. It's on every email signature in anybody that has anything to do with finance. But there are ways you can protect yourself if you're going to make a major purchase, which requires you having high credit and a low debt to income ratio. Sometime in 2026, you can prepare now to make sure everything's nice and tidy when the time comes to apply for a mortgage.
So shutting down your credit, how does one do that? Do you just tell your bank?
Go online. Yeah, there's online resources. I'll put it on our site so that it's an easy to find link. It's not there right now, but now that we're talking about it, I'll go back on and add it to the InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com website, so that way people can just find it more easily. Gotcha. But you just want to protect yourself and know that you never have enough money when you're buying a house. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
So that was for the buyers.
Yes.
For sellers, what does preparation look for sellers?
That looks like preparing the actual house itself. You can start decluttering a year ahead of moving. I promise you, if you've been in your house more than 10 years, your closets are full, your basement is full, your attic is full. There's plenty of stuff that needs to be removed, sorted, gone through, donated. The charities are desperate. This is the time of year to go through your house, clean out your closets, get rid of the old blankets. The shelters need them. They need coats. They need all the stuff that is piled up in your house that you have no need for any longer. Go ahead and clear out now. And then it's time to do an assessment of the home. Does your deck need repairing? Does your front walkway, are the gutters? Is it time to replace the gutters? There's lots of things you can do to improve the sellability of your home, the marketability, and how it looks in advance. Waiting till the last minute, like even 30, 60, 90 days out, then you're rushing. And you don't have to pick when you're going to move. You can start this preparation process well in advance.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Yes.
For both sides,
Yes.
buyers and sellers.
Right.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. If you want to send Deborah an email, you go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and you can send an email to there. You can download the app on your phone, the Inside Georgia Real Estate app, and you have the home report card.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Explain that really quickly.
what that is a simple form you can download, and it helps put in order. You're going to walk through your home with a perspective of a buyer in the future. You check the boxes. How does my front entry look? How does my foyer look? How does my dining room, living room, kitchen? And it has specific things on there. And you can rate yourself, give yourself a numerical rating, and we convert it to a letter. When your home is an A, you're going to sell for more money and faster. And that's my job, is to help teach people how to do that.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. When we come back, we're going to talk about growing fraud in real estate. We'll be right back.
HOAs, I'm spending a lot of time giving advice to people about homeowners associations, but I'm hesitant to bring it in because it just brings so much negativity because everybody hates HOAs.
Right.
Yeah.
With Infinity by Morton fiberglass windows. Window and door shopping made simple at ngwindows.com.
Infinity by Morton from NG Windows, yeah.
Whether it's a slip or that's in a slip disc.
So had an interesting situation this week. I don't know. I'll run it by you, the short version, so
Okay.
you can
Just
decide
you
if
had
we
a fight
should
with?
talk about it.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have a fight.
Okay.
Have a client needs a house. It was the day it was like less than 30 degrees
Right.
outside, and it's dark. So it's 5:30, 6 o'clock. We're out looking at houses. She has a toddler and a newborn baby.
Okay.
Clearly, we're not kicking tires here.
Right.
We need a house,
Right.
and we need a house in a short timeline.
Right.
Got an appointment. I tried to see this guy's house last weekend, and the agent said, I can't get you in. He's moving. Like, okay, fine. So we're out. Contact the agent. There's no electronic anything. There's no lockbox. We get to the house. I text them, hey, we're running a little bit late. We're toting kids. It's
Right.
freezing cold. Get to the house, completely pitch black, like dark. I'm texting him. He says, text this number. I didn't know who I'm texting.
Right.
I text, I said, we're here. Where's the lockbox? How do I access the house? Ladies getting out of their car, unloading kids. I was like,
Right.
wait in your car.
Right.
All of a sudden, garage door opens. Like, okay, that's weird. I'm like, you stay here. Like, this is
Right.
not how people go into houses.
Right.
And then I go, like, so I open the door into the kitchen a little bit. I'm like, hello. I don't know if somebody's in there or not.
Right.
2 German shepherds in the backyard jumping, like, rah, 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 rah. Close the door. I go back out. I'm like, I'm not comfortable bringing you
Right.
and your children in this house.
Right.
I don't know if anyone's here.
Right.
This whole scenario,
Right. It's just
she said, this is sketchy as hell.
hell. Right. That's what
So-
she said.
So I text the number back. I don't know who I'm talking about.
Right.
Turns out it's the owner.
Right.
And I'm like, we're leaving. I want to make sure you know your home is unlocked. I don't know how to close the garage door.
Right.
It's dark, it's cold and creepy. And I left. He blew up.
The
Like,
owner.
rah, 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 rah. Yeah,
No.
texting me back. Creepy. Turns out I know the guy.
Oh,
He says, I listened to you on the radio.
right.
I can't believe you would call my house creepy. I'm like, we didn't get to see your house.
We don't know that house is not creepy. The situation is creepy.
Yeah.
Right.
So he didn't like how I handled it. He said he was going to call in.
Right.
I'm like,
Okay.
fine,
So
bring
you
it,
were
buddy.
asking me advice on should we talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should talk about it in terms of when
Who
you're
you hire.
well, not only who you hire, but you should talk about it in terms of one, when is the appropriate time to view a home? I know you have to work. You work every day, not you, but the
Right.
person. So maybe you can't see the houses until after 5 o'clock. But in the wintertime, is that particularly smart? Because it gets dark at 6.
Smart doesn't matter when you need a house.
Yeah, I
Here
get it.
we have a buyer who wants to buy a house.
Right.
You want to sell your
The
house.
house, right.
Turn on the freaking lights. The point in this one, I don't want to sound, I never talk bad about agents,
Right.
like publicly.
Oh, the agent should have been there to greet you guys.
This agent really, like the pictures online, bad.
Well-
Unmade beds piled up. It's
Oh, he
horrible.
just got pictures regular.
The only reason my client wanted to see this house is because of the location.
Where is it?
It's in Kennesaw. It's where she wants to live.
There.
So, and there's not a ton of houses available
Right.
in this particular area. So I don't know. I don't know how we roll that in without me sounding, but I am critical. I'm super critical. I'm sorry for that homeowner who got bad advice from his agent.
Right.
His agent did him a disservice. Maybe that's what we say.
Right. Okay.
Not time yet. So maybe we do fast on fraud and then go to my story of the week.
Well, if you do fast on fraud and then go to your story on a week, it's going to sound like you're saying the guy's fraudulent.
Oh,
So
snap. Yeah.
let's talk about fraud and then do expectations for 2026, and then maybe in that short segment you could tell your
Just be
story.
like,
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship.
one more.
Because a friend wants her fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect,
Yeah,
no matter the price.
that's the piece that I'm looking to buy.
Your friend.
So-
That thing so I can put headphones, because the wireless, not for when I travel and when I go to the gym.
Oh.
Wireless is cool, but I kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have so many great headphones there that I can use.
Yeah.
I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to
I got
support American
invited
employees.
to-
Huh?
I got invited to a dinner with Maurice. They call it the Founders Dinner. I don't know. It's a big deal in Fort Lauderdale in January, and it's a black tie affair with Mauricio from the TV show
What TV show?
Buying Beverly Hills.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's a really big deal.
Oh, that's cool. You'll be networking your ass off there. Yeah. High five. When is it?
Second week of January. I'll be in Fort Lauderdale
How long are you going for?
during the week.
Oh, you might miss the birthday party, the holiday party. Holiday party's the
No.
14th.
I think I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
I'll check and make sure, but I'm pretty sure I'll be back. It's quite celebrity-esque. I have to fit in all of my events. Did you go to D. Geller and get your woman a fancy gift?
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Good.
Not doing that.
Grinch.
I got my eye on that young lady.
Coverage of traffic
And
and
that
weather.
hard
Isabel
dog.
Rodriguez is in the WSB 24-hour traffic.
Yeah.
center.
Good afternoon. We've got progress on 285 westbound. The inner loop past
That's
Johnsonburg Road. And
Moving on.
That crash is in a construction
Moving on.
zone and it has cleared. The construction is still taking out one.
And I
right
think
lane.
this is going to be a good
Conditions are
year
improving,
for
but
me.
it's been
Not
slow
in terms of that
moving
way,
since
but
towards
just
Midfield.
my
And
focus.
in
I
Midtown
want
area, construction is
1,000%
still
focus on
active
radio.
here on Bird Drive. One
You
left
know,
lane.
You had your
my show.
surgery. Your health is better.
Right.
Your mindset is better.
Right. I'm ready.
That means
to,
you're aligned.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I've
I've been talking about it all week. I got a bunch of clips of me from the show, just different segments, kind of the same theme. I'm
Mornings at
ready.
2 o'clock,
I'm ready for
breaking news when it
2026 to
happens. I'm
really
Veronica
be my
Waters,
year.
95.5
Yeah.
You know.
WSB.
I think 2025 was hard for a lot of people.
Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. That's the name of the show. I'm Shelley Winter. Deborah, when we were going to break, you were talking about fraud. There's an increase in fraud. Tell us what's going on.
So, in my opinion, all of the technology, the AI, everything, that is developed over the last couple of years is increasing the capacity of fraudsters to access your personal information.
Okay.
So I think we all need to be, because this is kind of my public service announcement. Everybody needs to be conscious of the fact that there are AI bots crawling the internet, and it's very easy to find personal information. I have this past week, I have 3 different fraud situations that I'm trying to help people sort through. One was a land lot that is not for sale. Somebody contacted me to sell their property. They provided all the information I needed to list this property for sale, including identifications with like everything. They had, if I weren't experienced, I would have put this property on the market because the fraudster gave me everything they needed. It's simply that I'm experienced and I was able to be like, this something is just not right here. So I was able to track down the rightful owner, finally got a hold of the police department, the sheriff's office, to try to get some law enforcement interaction. I'll keep you posted. It's not resolved. It's still ongoing. Secondly, we had a wire fraud attempt.
How can it not be resolved? You have the rightful owner, right?
But we need law enforcement to act. And there's one, it's hard to reach law enforcement who will handle a case like this.
Gotcha.
2, it's hard to track down. It's possible this fraudster is out of the country.
Gotcha.
And 3, proving all of this.
Gotcha.
Like building a case takes time and they
Gotcha.
disappear real quick.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the next issue was a wire fraud with a closing we had. We're talking about $40,000 of cash money that was wired. The email chain was intercepted by a fraudster. So one of my agents, it looked like we have all the documentation, but the fraudster created a fraudulent Outlook account with my agent's name. So the client thought it was the agent contacting him.
Wow.
And it was similar enough. Now, there was no email signature, his picture, everything. So somebody with a sharp eye would have caught it, but many people aren't expecting it. They're like, oh,
Right.
The agent sent me an email. Here's the new wiring instructions. And they followed it. So if you're going to wire money, you have to get on the phone and call before you send funds or receive funds. Super important. In this particular case, our closing attorney partner and the bank recognized what a human caught, that there was a discrepancy, and it was forwarded. So $40,000 saved this week. Yay for that. And then the third issue was somebody who contacted me, wanted to sell her property. She has the will. The property was assigned to her with a will, but I looked up the tax records and it was quit claimed to somebody else a week before the man passed away. I'm still stepping through this one to try to help her figure out what to happen.
So she has property.
She has a property. According to her, she is the rightful person to put the property on the market and sell it. But when I pull up the records, and again, we're still stepping through it, but these are the things that are so time consuming, helping people figure out who actually owns this property.
Right.
It's now assigned to an LLC name on the tax return. What I see, and she said, well, what was the date? Well, that happened before he passed away. So this is definitely beyond the scope of my what I do for a living.
And he could have been the one to Pat gave it.
Well, apparently no, because he was completely incapacitated on that
somebody
date.
Did that.
So who knows what happened? And again, this is like, I am a real estate salesperson. Like this is, but I'm connecting her with who she needs to try to get this resolved. But it's a tangled mess. There are so many opportunities for fraud happening right now. And it's as technology improves and expands, we're going to see more of this. So my public service announcement part is, y'all beware. Be conscious of the fact that there are people out there trying to steal your personal information, your money, and your property.
Right. Exactly.
We all have to work together to keep that from happening.
One of the easiest ways, and this, one of the easiest ways of doing that is just go through InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, because everything is legit there. Everything will be looked at there.
Well, and there's lots of great brokers. Like, it's not just me. The
Right.
professionals who work full
It is
time
just
in
you.
this industry. It is just me. You're
me.
right. I'm the only one in Atlanta. But the professionals who work at this full time, we work with trusted attorneys and mortgage lenders, and you're going to be surrounded by a team of professionals who checks all the boxes. We cross the T's, dot the I's. We do everything you need. That's what full service real estate professionals do for their clients. And you have a right to expect that. You should not be on your own when you're transacting real estate. We do it every day. Our clients do it maybe every 3 to 5, 7 years.
Right.
Some people once
Never
in a
done it before.
lifetime, right?
Right.
And you hire us for a reason. It's not just to open a door to a house to look at the paint and the carpet. There's so much more on the back end, and it's getting more serious.
Right.
From what I see in the last 10 years, I see a significant change in what's happening on the back end, and everybody needs to be conscious of it. So that's important.
404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. Deborah, give us, what are the expectations for the real estate business? This is one of our last shows of the year.
Yes.
What are the expectations for the real estate business going into 2026?
So it's so fascinating to watch, because 2024 and 2025 was the lowest volume of transactions that were nationally in 30 years. Since 1995, there haven't been fewer transactions. So what we call that is a pretty flat market. We all know that affordability is an issue. Mortgage rates are an issue for people. And it looks like inflation is not quite in check. The employment outlook, the metrics that the Fed uses to make financial decisions about rates impacts the mortgage industry. And the outlook is still pretty bleak. Everybody is saying they're expecting mortgage rates to fall in 2026, and they will. And if inflation and everything stays stable, Lawrence Yun is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He's predicting a 14% increase in transactions in 2026. Wow. That is a big increase, but not when you consider we're 2 years flat. It'll just be a normal. I don't know 15% will be really that readily evident in people's perceptions of what's happening. Where it's going to impact buyers and sellers is a balanced market with a healthy give and take in negotiating prices will keep prices stable. Their negotiations will happen, and it will be a fair and balanced market for people to transact. There is a to see more of that this year. The other interesting factor is the number of agents who were licensed that let their licenses go the last couple of years. The part-time agents are falling out of the industry, and in my opinion, that's a good thing.
That's a good. I was going to ask, is that a good thing? And are they falling out of the part-time agents that are they falling out of the industry because of problems in the industry, the changes in the industry? What is it?
It's all the things. It's hard to make a living in real estate if you dabble. And as fast as the lawsuits, all the things that we talk about with requirements, compliance, lawsuits, changes, money, fewer transactions to go around. If you're a part-time agent and you don't do this full time, you really aren't able to help people at the highest level possible. And I will continue to be vocal about it, that with people's biggest asset, most people, their home purchase and sale, it's the biggest asset transfer that is going to happen in their lifetime. Getting professional guidance is helpful. Now, we all know not every agent is created equally. And every consumer deserves to hire somebody who is skilled, professional, and capable. And that's what I want to see more of. So it doesn't bother me. I mean, my company, the Agency Atlanta, is having its best year ever. Is that because we're so fantastic? Well, of course, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, as agents get away, the people who are left working, and it's not just us, they're the other full-time agents, we're doing more transactions, and the transactions are being handled more smoothly, more effectively, because we're working with qualified professionals. And that's better for the industry. It's better for, if you want to buy or sell a house, to make sure you're working with somebody who's good, and they're going to make sure they work with somebody like me who's good.
InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's where you would go to send emails to Deborah, to put in and fill out the home report card, or just get simple questions answered. InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. The app has vendors you can contact.
Oh, all kinds of good stuff on the mobile app. You can download it for free from the Play Store, or wherever you download your apps. It's good. All of these things, to sum it all up, the reason we talk about that is because every consumer deserves quality work from their agent. Your agent should be advising you how to prepare your home for sale, what the photos should look like. You should not accept less. I did have an unfortunate situation.
Let's talk about that. When we come back, we're getting ready to go to break. When we come back, I want to ask you, have you ever run into an unprofessional agent that you've had to work with because you have a client?
Yes.
All right, that's coming up next.
We'll spill the tea.
Spill the tea on Inside Georgia Real Estate with my I can't say sister anymore.
Oh,
with
yes,
my
you can.
professional partner, and we do a show together, Deborah Morton. Inside Georgia Real Estate with Deborah Morton. I've got to be more professional, they said. 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. We'll be right back.
That's funny.
148 in the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
There was no music teaser. I didn't know where we were going.
Yeah, she was playing it.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I
couldn't
couldn't
hear
hear
it. She plays it lower than Rob does. Rob does it. Rob, he sees us going too close. He wants to get us off. That's why.
Yeah, no, it helps.
Yeah.
It's a helpful cue
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Wrap it up.
Rob, yeah.
Without a cue like that, I just love.
You're right. No, that's right. I didn't want you. So we're gonna when we come back, I'm just gonna ask you to tell the story. What happened this week?
I know. I feel bad. I want to speak highly of the agents are out there, but I feel bad that this man hired an agent who. Now it could be that he didn't do what his agent told him to do,
or it could be he didn't do what his agent. Depending on a man's reaction, it's probably a little bit of both, and he probably is working with an agent, because if you had a guy like that, you wouldn't. Who's this Lynn Yost?
I don't know. We're too late for a call. Let's let her type it in
and find out. Okay. I can't wait till next Saturday. It's gonna be so much
fun. Christmas Eve. Do you want me to swing by or not?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna. You know what? We should ask Kevin one. See, I completely forgot about it. I don't. He's gonna have his wife here, so it's already gonna be 3 of us here, and it's only 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's your call. It's your call.
Do you want me to reach out to him and say, "Hey, Shelly mentioned you and your wife will be in the studio on the 24th"?
Right. Yeah, just mention.
I'll ask him.
Yeah, ask him. Yeah. Because with 3 of us, and even today, I've got to talk to him again because he wants to answer some emails from car guys, and I want to talk to him hey, it's the day before Christmas. We're in prime time. Let's not use that time to talk about cars.
Right.
Let's use that time to just sell you as Kevin.
Community,
as a regular dude, you know what I mean? A regular community guy. You have a show on Saturdays, you know what I mean? But let's not do the whole, hey, I got a 1500 my transmission. How do I fix that?
That'll be really boring for that time slot, because that's when a lot of people are listening. So if I write down this number, I can call her directly.
Yes. want to sell a house to daughter, buy another
I
house.
do not
and
want to get into trusts with 2 minutes left.
Right. Write down a number, but then when we come back off the air, when we come back on air, I'll tell her, I'll say, hey, Lynn, we only have a short amount of time. Go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, but you have the number as well. But we won't tell her we're getting her number right.
That's fine.
And to help narrow it down, we picked out some classics for incredible holiday savings now through Christmas. 20% off all diamond cinches, diamond studs, hoops, tennis bracelets, and more in natural and lab grown. Plus, if you need it now but want to pay for it later, we've got 12 months 0% APR financing. So if you think you've waited too long,
We could talk about Christmas or holiday traditions because he does Hanukkah for 8 days. Like
That's kind of stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Family, what's your favorite meal? What's your favorite gift? What's, hey, since his wife's going to be there, what's the best gift he's ever given you? That kind of stuff. Just kind of humanize it because you're not going to get a lot of calls at that time. People are driving
People
around,
are traveling,
shopping,
yeah.
right.
And we need to be like entertaining.
Right.
His wife's pretty cool. I met her.
You met her?
Yeah. She's actually cooler than he is.
She is funny. Oh, Popeyes. I may not get Popeyes. I'm going to the Mayor's Mass Ball tonight,
Cool.
but I'm tired and I want to take a nap, but I don't want to oversleep because I think the VIP is at 5 o'clock or something.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
tough.
it's not giving me a lot of time. I may just skip through. I may miss the VIP and just go to dinner. But it's a big event.
Yeah. Are you wearing tux?
Yeah, black tie. It is. I tell people it is, if you're for networking and contacts and business and all that stuff, it is probably the event of the year if you can go.
I am not ready to share it yet, but I've been looking at property in Buckhead for our Buckhead office.
Oh,
So,
good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. How many offices do you have?
It sounds great, but you got to know how shitty they are.
Inside Georgia Real Estate with my dear friend Deborah Morton. Deborah, we have a call. You want to tell the caller?
Yeah. Lynn, why don't you send me a message on InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com because Lynn's question is she wants to sell a house to her daughter and buy another in the same neighborhood using a legacy trust. And Lynn, this is more in depth than we have time for in the last couple of minutes of the show. This is what I'm talking about with the family conversations to have, where you can rearrange your real estate that works for your whole family. And there's a lot of different ways to go about it. But I am going to put a pin in this trust situation and revisit it next week so that we can go into it more in depth.
Okay.
There's a lot to it. And it is one way how you structure your real estate transactions can be very beneficial to your family.
So, Lynn, please go to InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com and send Deborah an email. And if you're anywhere in the area of Union City next Saturday, come down to the live broadcast and you can meet Deborah in person. Deborah, you had an incident this week. It kind of illustrates
why you should hire a good agent. So I don't know what the backstory was on this situation, but I have a buyer who really needs a house and we have a time crunch on it. We saw the pictures online. They were really awful, embarrassing, and should be used as the poster for what not to do when you're trying to sell a home. Yet in this area, there are very few homes for sale. So my client wanted to go see it anyway. But the whole scenario was difficult, very difficult, because she can only look at homes after work and it's dark, it's cold. She's dragging her kids with her. It's not ideal scenario, but this is what we got to do to help find her a house. So we get to the house. It's completely dark. There's no lockbox. There's no way to access the house. And the agent connects me to the seller, the homeowner, which, why did you hire an agent? You don't want me talking to the homeowner.
Right.
My client's feedback was not favorable. She didn't even walk into the house because it was such a it was dark, it was cold, there was big dogs in the backyard, and she had her 2 little kids with her.
Right.
It was too nerve-wracking. after seeing, like, she was already
And
on
she
the
wanted-
fence about
right.
seeing this house because the pictures were so bad.
Right.
But when somebody needs a house, they're willing to
Right.
like overlook a lot because they wanted to buy it. So it was just an unfortunate situation because I believe it may be the right house for her, but the whole scenario was so off-putting that she's like wiping her hands of it. I'm
Right.
done here. I like, ew, this is
and that real estate agent could have quite possibly
Oh my
lost
gosh.
the deal,
yes.
and you're losing a deal.
Well, and it's worse because that
And
real
the
estate agent ended up connecting me to the homeowner, and he didn't like what I had to say, and
Right.
I cleaned it up.
Right.
I really cleaned it up.
Right.
So that whole scenario didn't have to happen if his agent had done a good job. That's all I'm saying. Hire somebody competent, somebody who's good, who knows what they're doing, and then please listen to your agent.
Inside Georgia Real Estate is how you can get in touch with Deborah, or you can come out and meet her in person next Saturday from 12 to 2. We'll be at Butler Lexus, South Atlanta, so you can meet this beautiful friend of
You
mine.
can also follow on Instagram and YouTube. Inside Georgia Real Estate is on the socials and on YouTube as well. So if you want to get a sense, find me there.
Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. Talk to you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Pick her up. Pick up Lynn.
Pick up.
Oh, come on this side.
There's somebody else calling me.
Yeah, that's probably a guy. Hey, Lynn, hold on one second. This is Deborah here.
Hey, how are you?
Keep it clean. Remove your furniture. Grab your couch.
Thank you, sis.
No,
Oh, I'm babysitting. I'm dog sitting.
Thank you for calling in and thank you for listening. So I love your plan. I think it's a great idea having family close
Come
to
on.
the neighborhood.
Come on, Blaze.
But how you set it up with your trust is it's actually really easy. You can do it through the closing attorney when you do it. How you finance the properties is really the first question, but putting the properties in a trust is part of the normal process at closing. You would want to have your trust set up. See you, Shelley. Thank you.
Bye, Deborah. I'll
Merry
see you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my sister.
Shelley's dog sitting for a friend, and the dog was in the studio with us, and it's so cute.
I love you, Deborah.
It's of exceptional caliber. Pieces worthy of the most discerning buyer and the most deserving who survive. When only extraordinary will do. There is Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Buford, Georgia, and nothing else compares. Visit in person through Christmas Eve for the ultimate holiday gifts. Online anytime at TaraFineJewelry.com.
This holiday season, Jamil's Kia of Kennesaw is celebrating the season of new traditions year-end sales event, and the savings are big. Right now, get 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Kia Tellurides, the SUV built for holiday adventures. Make your season even brighter. Jamil's Kia of Kennesaw is offering $1,000 bonus cash on select 2025 Tellurides. And when you purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle between now and January 2nd, Jamil's Kia of Kennesaw will make a donation to Must Ministries. Together, we can help provide food, shelter, clothing, and support for families in need this holiday season. Visit JimEllisKiaofKennesaw.com or stop by 1221 Auto Park Drive, exit 269 on I-75. Jim Ellis Kia of Kennesaw, where you can always...
Can you afford? Yeah, no. Can you afford to purchase the house without selling the house and receiving money for it? If it's paid for, that's easy. Are you positioned to make a purchase without selling it, or are you pulling the money out of it that you have? You're well positioned. Then I'm assuming, yeah.
It's 2:00. I'm Veronica Waters. WSB's top story this hour: a record number of Americans now on the move for the holidays. AAA expecting an estimated 122.4 million folks traveling over the busy holiday period. That's between today and January 1st. This Pennsylvania native, like the rest of us, is far from surprised.
It's just going to be busy. It's a lot of
So-
and stuff.
Yeah, so to reduce the chance of airport trauma, TSA recommends you keep your Christmas gifts unwrapped while
Right.
flying. In
Right.
case agents need to search your bags.
Okay,
More than
so
200 flight
do you
delays are in
have
effect this
an
hour at
like any
Hartsfield,
contact?
Jackson,
Like I have attorneys.
62 degrees now.
I'm
in
thinking
Midtown
about
and
the
Atlanta.
state and
And
trust
Channel 2
attorney
Action's
that
meteorologist
I've worked
Brad
with
Witz is forecasting
recently,
more
and
sunshine on
they were
this blue
so
sky day.
smart.
highs
were
in the
like
mid
crazy
60s.
smart.
That is most
And
accurate
though
and
they
dependable
won't do
forecast is
financial
coming up.
planning,
It is
this-
down to the
this
wire
is a
for those
whole
trying to
package
wrap
of
up Christmas
financial
giving,
planning and
especially when you're
estate
shopping
planning
for kids and those last
that
minute gifts.
you could just
Although
have the
we have already
conversation
registered
with them.
several
I'm happy to
organizations such as
connect you to
Raven
them
Green
and
International
find out how
Outreach,
to do
using
it,
their
because
pods
if you
and
have
Wow
equity
Ministries
in the
got
one,
together
want to
today.
purchase the
The
other,
holidays
and
brighter for
your
some
daughter
parents
is in
and
a
their
position
children.
to make some sort of payment to you, then that income could be utilized as well. So we're talking about financial planner, estate planner, who is an
And it's
attorney
done
who can
agreed
set
with
up the
Raven Green
trust
International.
legally,
She tells us
and
they're
then
offering
a mortgage broker
haircuts
who
too.
can
We're
do the
teaching at
financing.
St. Paul AME Church on Prior Road until 4 this afternoon.
This is why I
Most
didn't want to
ministries
hit
is
it
helping
on
make
the
sure
air
families
because
in
it's
need
a
have gifts on entry on
lengthy.
Christmas Day too.
The annual Christmas toy shop is
Yeah.
up and running
But
in
smart.
Town Center Mall in Cobb County, and CEO Ike Reichert says they let parents choose the gifts they want to give their kids.
We call that creating parity rather
I
than
don't
charity.
Families
know
sign up for an
that the
appointment
mortgage
online and are
company
able to select up to
would
10
do that
gifts.
But a
because
gift might
as
be
long as
a
they
kind
have a
of
lien, they want to be in
star,
first position,
year
we would take a
plus, or
mortgage.
maybe a
And I don't
bicycle.
know that they would
Board
take a
games
second,
or any
I'm
other
actually, I'm
number of
certain they
things.
would not
Reichert
take a
says
second
they're on track to
position.
find gifts
but
to more than
it's
8,000 kids
possible
this
you
year.
don't
Jonathan
need
O'Brien,
a
Top 5
traditional
WSB.
mortgage
A
on
spokesman
it.
for former
It's
President Clinton has
possible you
defended
could
the former
structure it
president
in
after
a
he
different
appeared prominently in
capacity.
the Epstein
But
files.
I'm on the top end of my, I shouldn't be speaking in depth about this because how we structure it is really like we would need advisement from a real estate attorney and the mortgage
That's
broker.
correspondent Lisa Carton.
But I can
And then
ask you smart
sensation turned
questions
boxer
of
Jake
them
Paul
and connect
sustains
you
a
to them
double
to
broken
figure out
jaw
what your
in his
best
loss.
option is.
Former heavyweight
And
champion
it might
Anthony
not,
Joshua,
it might not be a
YouTubers confirmed
traditional
the damage
mortgage.
early today with a picture showing his jaw broken in two
It
places. He says
could
he gave the
be
fight
that you
his
put the
personal
one
best.
house in the
202
trust
live team coverage
and
of traffic
your
and weather
daughter
straight ahead.
does a lease purchase from the trust,
Every business can
you
use
know,
a
or
little
of some
something
capacity. And then the trust owns it, and in the trust you can write it up any way you want. Like when she one day sells it, she, you know, a portion of that proceeds goes to the other children or whatever. How, I mean, that attorneys are very adept at helping figure those things out.
So your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card. when you
Yes,
add
let
2
me
lines of
grab,
money.
if it's okay, are you still driving?
So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on.
Okay, well, let me grab my pen. Shelley, I'm in the wrong part of the studio. Let me grab a pen and paper, and that way you can just keep driving safely, and I'll take down your information. Hold on one second.
There's never a good time for your drive on a break. Whether you're rushing to work,
Okay.
or you're trying to get the
What is your phone number, first of
I'm
all?
Tommy Mello at A1 Drive. We know how much you rely on your drive. That's why we offer same-day repair. Because
Okay,
life
great.
doesn't
And what is
wait,
your email?
and neither should you. When your garage door stops working, trust A1 to get you moving again fast. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. Call A1 Garage Door Service today.
Whether it's a slip or that's
Okay.
goes.
Okay, slyost3@gmail.com. Okay, I am going to reach out to, there's like 3 partners in this. I know, I said I had a great experience with them, but their name escapes me at this particular moment. The law firm, but they were great, and I know that they have several offices. The one that I worked with was in Kennesaw.
It's 205 live team coverage of traffic and weather begins right now with Isabella Rodriguez in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Office.
Good afternoon.
I'm
Watching
gonna
some
reach out to them.
activity in
I
East
don't
Atlanta.
know if
There's
they're
trouble
working
on
this week.
I-20 westbound,
Is,
just ahead of
but
North
I'll
Avenue.
reach
It's
out to
60
them.
crash right
I'll
here. It's
reach out
blocking 2
to
right
my
lanes,
closing
and that's causing
attorney
delays
to
to head
get,
towards
because he's
downtown.
always
And in
like
downtown,
super
there's
helpful with
emergency
being
maintenance on
creative.
75-85
And
southbound. Just before
after
North
that,
Avenue exit
then,
249, where
you know,
left lane is blocked.
if we needed a
Isabella
lender to
Rodriguez,
do,
95.5
depending on what
WSB.
the estate planning attorney.
I'm Chef
so
Action News
then
Chief
we'll know what the
Meteorologist
next
Brad.
steps
It's
are.
sunny and cool this afternoon and chilly this evening.
I
Overnight
don't
will drop
want you
down towards a low
getting sucked
40
down the,
Sunday
like,
morning.
in the
That's in the city, some
financing
upper 30s in the
rabbit
suburbs.
hole until
Then some
you know how
morning
to
clouds,
structure it.
20% chance of a stray shower
Like,
on
how it's
Sunday,
structured
becoming
is the most
mostly
important
sunny in the
thing.
afternoon,
Now,
high
the house that
62.
you would
Right
like
now,
to
we are
buy,
looking at
has it been on the
62
market
degrees
for a
under
while?
sunny
I
skies
don't
on
want you to
Peachtree
miss
Street
out
in
on it
Midtown
while you
Atlanta
figure
at
it out the
2:06.
structure.
More news coming up at 2:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
The following is sponsored by the Hoffman Financial Group.
Oh,
That's
good.
that
Okay.
follows, and callers are not that of 95.5 WSB.
Protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account for
Mhm.
work on a month-to-month basis? It has high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 30, 35 years. It's time for you to not stress.
Right.
It's time for you to enjoy.
Yeah, but in Morningside,
while living.
It's
I'm
Money
sure
Unleashed
the lot was
with Chris
still
Hoffman on
quite
WSB.
nice.
Welcome to Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Yeah.
of the Hoffman Financial
Yeah.
Group. You have a great weekend. Appreciate you making us a part of it. Another great show for you for plenty of discussions. We hope you can think about your financial present, your financial future, and
Mhm.
build retirement that you want. Chris, great to sit down with you again. We got lots to get into. As
I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. That's what I wanted to convey to people today. Is there are ways to do this to make sure your family is well situated for years to come. Yay! Yay. Good.
It's going great. Got everything ordered, and with the exception of some
Right,
deliveries
right.
that were placed in the side of the house, right underneath the
Right.
garage.
Well, I would say because it's the holidays and the people we need to talk to may not be available in the next week. Reach out to the owners of the place that you want to buy and tell them that you took a step forward in figuring it out. And because what you don't want is them spending the holidays talking with their kids and their kids say, no, put it on the market now. Like you don't want to miss out. I would give them a heads up that you're actively working to put the pieces together. And encourage them to sit tight and to buy you a little bit of time because they're having the same conversations at their family as well.
But I'm going to dial it back on the epic scale and tell you that what we do today can have a profound impact on our financial lives. Translation, you can lose your time. U.S. News and World Report shared a list of 4 essential steps you can take today in order to set yourself up for the retirement you want down the line. So let's start with something that can get away from folks. And knowing what you're spending now, Chris, that can help you understand.
If it was an investment, like to avoid capital gains taxes on it, it would have to be rolled into another investment property.
To answer, which is
The only way
basically
your current home being put into a trust maybe could be structured so it's an investment, but I doubt it. I think you might be on the hook for the capital gains because that money, or buy another investment property, but it's like kind. So if that was an investment property and you have to invest in a similar like kind investment property. So it doesn't sound to me, and again, and we'll talk to the attorney to make sure, but it doesn't sound to me like that's a like kind transfer that would allow you to avoid the capital gains.
Afford yourself, because spending should be looked at as a reward, an opportunity to
Yeah.
spend.
Thank
money
you so
on
much for
yourself,
listening and drive
especially
safely
during
and Merry
retirement,
Christmas to you. We'll
on
talk next
the
week.
things that you
Okay.
really enjoy
Bye.
and spend your money on. It shouldn't be restrictive. You shouldn't be told you can only spend this much. And we can mirror it with an income plan and see how much your financial life can send you. And then you have your assets. And you can pull off